but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me no.
All right, what's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports. I'm that dude, KSpadeTheProspect.
And I'm your boy, LeParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Spade! A lot of things happened this week right here. Let me just warn you guys right now. We are recording late. Some conference championship games in college football just ended. So we had to watch those games just in case we wanted to bring you guys some of that news. But that's not what we want. That's not where I want to start at, Spade. I don't know where you want to start at, but I want to start with the big news that happened this week in the NBA. Now you guys are like, what? What happened? Kobe Bryant came out, wrote a poem. Kobe he just can't come out and say, this is it for me. He got to be poetic. Kobe got to be poetic. Right. And he came out and said, this is it for me. This is my last season. So, ladies and gentlemen, the farewell tour for Kobe Bryant has started. Spade, when you found out Kobe was retiring and he came out and said it officially again, because I don't know if you remember, Spade, we talked about this maybe last season on SAS when Kobe was like that next year going to be his last, and people was like, nah, Kobe ain't say that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just got to, let people know that we were right. I like being right. Again, I like being right. But, when Kobe came out and said this is it for him, what was your first thoughts? What was your thoughts about Kobe?
I got to admit, my first thought was, wow, Kobe, you just now coming to grips with this? It was almost as if Kobe was the last person to realize it was time to hang it up. I don't know if you guys remember it, and I mean the listeners, but we said on the show a long time ago, Mitch Kupchak came out before the season and said this would be Kobe's last season. And I guess, Mitch can't say if it's his last season playing, but Mitch pretty much made it sound like it's his last season as a Laker. Kobe, who said he wanted to retire Laker, and we knew this year right here was the second year of the last 2-year deal that he signed. I knew he was set to get some bread this year. I expected him to come get his bread. If somebody owed me some bread, I'm coming for it, regardless of how I think I look. The thing that's kind of crazy to me, man, and you and I, we talk about this off camera a lot. And I guess this is the struggles you deal with of being a smaller podcast, whatever, not so popular. But ESPN have to say what we say before people believe it. You and I, we've been saying it was time for Kobe to hang it up. And that's no knock on Kobe. Like I said on the show, Father Time is 99-0. When he come ring the doorbell, he taking your ass with him. He leaving with you. He's not leaving by himself. You can't tell him, nah, hey, I'm good, come back tomorrow. He's coming for you. And he came for Kobe, man. And it's crazy because now everybody's saying what you and I have been saying for a long time, bro. A long time.
Let me just say this. First of all, I want to start off by saying congratulations, Kobe. You had a very, very successful 20-year career, man. You are one of the best. You are definitely one of the best. I know people always get on me a lot. I get a lot of tweets saying, man, you just a Kobe hater. I don't hate Kobe. I don't hate Kobe. I hate when people be like, he's Michael Jordan. And in my opinion, I seen the real. Let me start off by saying I seen the real Michael Jordan. I ain't talking about Washington Wizards Michael Jordan. I seen the real Michael Jordan. And in my opinion, which wasn't bad. That's right. But in my opinion, he's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the GOAT from what I've seen. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Kobe Bryant had a great career, and Kobe Bryant has nothing to hang his head on with this, about this season right here. But let me start off by saying you are absolutely right about Father Time. And Charles Barkley said that he knew it was time for him to go when he kept pump faking. He was doing 100 pump fakes. And he said that's when he knew it was time for him to retire. I think Kobe Bryant figured it out when he started seeing all them air balls. Kobe Bryant shot air ball at the air ball at the air ball. And I think Kobe was like, man, what is going on? What is going on? And I think that's when Kobe decided. He said he'd been pondering this for months, and a little bit last year he said he was pondering this. But for him to come out and say it, I think it's a good thing. We haven't seen a farewell tour in the NBA for a long time. Michael Jordan retired, came back. You know what I mean? We haven't seen a real farewell tour in the NBA probably since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So Kobe Bryant definitely is one of the guys that deserve it. He came out the first game, and I ain't gonna spend too much time, Spade. He came out the first game against Philly. He came out, he was on fire. They gave him like his high school jersey and everything. I think his high school coach was there. They gave him his jersey. Kobe Bryant came out on fire. And then Kobe Bryant turned back into old man Kobe and shot the Lakers out that game.
He would.
He shot the Lakers out that game.
I called it. But one thing I want to say, and I know you're ready to move forward, I just want to say this with the farewell tour. Shout out to the homie Nate. We got to get Nate on the show one day. But Nate had an interesting take on this whole farewell tour. He was talking about how it changed the narrative. Because some of these sports networks, they was clowning Kobe for looking so bad out there. And then when Kobe wrote the poem and came out and said, I'm going to retire, then it became a completely different angle. They was like, Kobe's body has failed him. Like they mad at Kobe's body because he don't look like 25-year-old Kobe at 37. You know what I'm saying? Like just 2-3 weeks ago, they was clowning the hell out of Kobe for shooting all those air balls. And one last point, man, you said that Charles knew it was time for him because he kept pump faking. I think that, to me, the obvious thing with Kobe to let me know it's time for Kobe is all the three-pointers he's settling for. His athleticism is gone. He's settling for threes. Man, in the game against Philly, he shot like 4 of 20 from beyond the arc. Why is he taking 23s? Why? That's crazy. That's crazy. That lets you know it's time to hang it up.
People were saying Kobe Bryant body was failing. I think whenever you do anything for a long time, regardless what profession you in, whether that's working in a factory or typing, if you type a lot, you get carpal tunnel. If you work in a factory, your hearing go. If you look at a computer all day, your eyesight go. So whatever you do for a long time, whatever you do a lot of, that part of your body will fail you. If you lift things a lot, more than likely you will have a hurt back. If you run up and down the stairs a lot, more than likely you're going to have hurt legs and knees. So Kobe Bryant body isn't failing him. Everybody body fails them at work. It's just how work goes, man. I just want to say, the farewell tour, it's well deserved. And Kobe actually, the game after, I don't remember who they played, but the game after they played Philly, I don't remember who they played, but Kobe played phenomenal. He kind of hit a game winner a little bit. He kind of hit a game. What was time left? And I think it might have been Charlotte. I don't want to say it was Charlotte, but he kind of hit a game winner. And there was some time left on the clock, and the Hornets wasn't able to, make a shot. So I think Kobe had like 31 points. And I wrote on Twitter, I said, man, this might be a bad sign because Kobe might unretire before he retire. We need Kobe to retire. We don't need Kobe to have a stretch of good games because if he do, Kobe might be like, wait a minute, I think I'm back now. And he might not even, Kobe the type of guy that'll be like, he'll retire before he'll unretire before he retire, and they'll be like one more year, and Kobe will come back. So I just want to say, thank you, Kobe, for some great seasons, for some great memories, and we don't hate you, Kobe. We just, I feel like we keeping it real. Other people call us haters, man, but we want to thank you for 20
over
years,
here.
Man.
My boy LaPere said, whatever you do for a long time, it'll make your body break down. I mean, look at Pinky, y'all. Look at Pinky. Pinky body done broke down, man. She put in mad hours on that porno scene, man. But let's go ahead and move forward, man. Let's stay in the NBA. Let's talk about another two guard that's one of those guys kind of like Kobe. He's either loved or he's hated. And I'm talking about James Harden, man. James Harden. I'm a fan. You guys give me a little bit of hell about being a James Harden fan. He recently came out and said that he wants to play less minutes. Now, I think it's a lot of weight in that statement. Before this season started, I read an ESPN magazine, had a nice little interview with James Harden where he was talking about his expectations for himself this season. This is before the season even started. He said he wanted to play off ball more. He wanted to join that. What is it, LaParis? I always say it wrong. What is it? It's like 50-50-40 club or something like that. What is it? You know what I'm talking about.
I think it's the 90-50-40.
That's right. 90-50-40. 90% from the free throw line, 50% from the field, 40% from beyond the arc. And he hasn't been able to do it. Like any of that stuff. He hasn't been able to play off ball. He's not shooting the percentages he wants. And his minutes are up. He's averaging 39.5 minutes per game. He is Houston's everything. And it's got to take a toll on his body, for one. And for two, it makes him either the hero or he's the jackass. Because if they lose, people go, oh, James Harden, it's the Kardashian curse. it's Lil B talking about the cook-up. When in actuality, it's the fact that he ain't got no damn help out there. If he don't get it done, they lose. But I just want to know, man, do you feel the same way I feel about this statement? Is this James Harden's, like, his politically correct cry for help, or is he just truly trying to preserve his body? What do you think it is?
You want to know what? I really don't have. When he first said it, I was like, But when he said it, I said, James, they actually need you to play more minutes.
Which is sad.
Because it's James or bust.
Yep.
Like, if James have a bad game, they lose. If James have a good game, they lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
gotta have a great
The funny
game.
thing is, they was this. Yeah, like he really got to play amazing, like out of this world amazing for them to get a dub. They was expecting a lot out of Ty Lawson. You know, rumors are out there that Ty Lawson is on the trade block. He's on the trade block. They done put Patrick Beverly back in the starting lineup. Ty Lawson don't even start. Dwight just came out and said, "Oh, well, now I can play back to backs. Now I'm Dwight Howard, so I can play back to backs now." And I mean, I think the game they had tonight, I don't even know who they played, but the game they had tonight, which is Saturday, I think Dwight had 17 points, 11 rebounds, and my homie Shaq, who I love dearly, man. First of all, I love Shaq for his personality, but Shaq gives Dwight Howard a hard time because he expects Dwight to have average 20-something points, 20-something rebounds, a 15 ball, like. There's no way why Dwight, and people going to say injuries, this, and that. People give James Harden a terrible time about his defense. But when you putting that much
In
you
score.
putting that much energy towards offense, I mean, sometimes you don't have nothing left on defense, man. Like, James Harden is their number one priority when it comes to scoring. And if James Harden doesn't score, they lose. When James Harden score, they lose. So, I mean, I just don't know. I'm not mad at James Harden for saying he want to play less minutes. He actually came out and said as well that he thinks playing less minutes will help his defense. Maybe him playing less minutes will, put some of the weight on Dwight back to help him out, man. Because if James ain't on the court, then they got to give it to Dwight a little more in the post. I just don't. I mean, they fired Mikal. I don't have the answers with what's going on in Houston. It's not looking good. If I'm Houston, I keep James Harden and everybody else. I keep James Harden, Patrick Beverly, and everybody else is on the block. Everybody on the block. Who you want? Come get Dwight. You want Dwight? Come get him. Send him back to Orlando for Vucevic. I don't know. Do something. I just don't have the answer. I'm not mad at James making that statement. I just don't have the answer with how to fix Houston, how to fix James minutes, how to fix Dwight. I just don't have the answer. I don't have the answer.
Cry for help.
That's what you think it is? You think
Definitely,
James saying,
man,
y'all got to give me somebody?
It was what, 2 or 3 weeks back, we was hearing reports that some of the Houston players felt like James Harden wasn't very friendly. He ain't really kicking it with them. Man,
I wouldn't like them. Spade, I wouldn't like them either.
About to say that. Everybody work with people. I ain't gonna say everybody. Maybe some of y'all lucky enough not to, but a lot of people work with co-workers who don't pull their load, and you got to work harder to get things done because they're not doing their job. No, I don't want to kick it with your ass either after I don't work for me and you. No, I don't want to kick it with you. We not friends. And I think this man is crying out for help. Here's just something for you guys to weigh in your head, and then we can move forward, LaParis. Remember the big trade that OKC had? The big debate there was whether or not to keep Harden or Ibaka. They felt like Ibaka helped that team defensively a lot. And don't get me wrong, I like Serge. He's got a nice little midi. He's had some injury issues as well. But let's revisit that trade. What if OKC trades Ibaka and they keep Westbrook, Harden, and Durant? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right, let's move on. So let's take a trip to Cleveland. And we ain't going to talk about the Cavs. We're moving on to where I want to be, the NFL. And we're going to talk some Johnny Manziel. I actually wrote down Johnny Manziel versus the Browns. Now, we all know Johnny Manziel been in some more TMZ crap. He holding a boat of money like, I can't hear you because, the money blocking my ears. And word on the street is Johnny Manziel back to drinking. He's been seen with champagne cups in his hand and all type of stuff. And the Browns don't know what to do with Johnny. They want to play Johnny. They don't want to play Johnny. Johnny start here. Johnny third string here. He's second string here. They starting Austin Davis this week. McCown out. You would think this is the perfect chance for the Cleveland Browns to see what they have in Johnny Manziel. Johnny played a couple games, didn't play too bad, didn't play too well, but he didn't. He was all right. He was all right. Let me say that.
Right.
He was all right. But you know, it's like four games left. This is your chance to see what Johnny Manziel could do. Can Johnny Manziel help the Browns out in the future? But the head coach, who I think hate Johnny Manziel,
Speak on it.
that he's not playing him. He's not playing him. He's playing Austin Davis. And it got a lot of people thinking like, man, what are the Browns doing with Manziel? Now, Manziel is a very opinionated guy. You know what I mean? He said he's disappointed with the decision, as anybody should be if you want to be a professional in the league. He said he's disappointed. He said he made some mistakes. But my question to you, Spade, is, one, what should the Browns do with Manziel? Should they trade him, cut him? Should they play him? And two, aren't you tired of Manziel saying, I made some mistakes constantly?
I'm definitely tired of that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying go. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, first of all, I'm definitely tired of the apologies. It's like he's got somebody in his ear telling him the politically correct things to say, and he says it, but he doesn't really mean it. On one breath, he says, you know, I made some mistakes. I'm a young guy. I'm going to make those mistakes. He loves throwing his age out there. I'm only so-and-so years old. I'm going to make mistakes.
Yeah,
and then in the next interview, he'll be like, well, I'm not going to change who I am. I mean, this is, you know, well, what the hell are you talking about? Now, the problem, a lot of people was talking to me ever since this show started, man. A lot of people talk sports with me, and I love it because I can talk sports all day, every day. But I had some people tell me, like, I don't feel like Manziel is being treated fair. He wasn't even drinking the alcohol. He was just holding the bottle. Whether you feel that way or not, here's the thing. For one, Johnny lied about it. That's the big thing. And the most important thing is he's got a coach that doesn't like him. I don't care what that guy says in the media. He does not like Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Now, if you are working for a guy that doesn't like you, don't give him any ammunition to plant your ass on the bench. And that's what Johnny's doing.
Right.
And that just goes to show that he's a little bit spoiled and he's accustomed to having things his way. Because anybody, trust me, I know about being on a short leash. When you're on a short leash, you act a little bit better than you normally would. So let's suppose this is Johnny's better than he normally would. What happens when he becomes the starter and you let your guard down? He sure enough turn up.
Yeah.
He goes to Vegas and he shoots, you know, the Hangover 4 and they take roofies. I don't know what the hell the kid would do. I feel like he deserves to play. I don't necessarily feel like he's a better starter than the starter there. But if that guy is hurt, put Johnny in the game. Let Johnny play. Let him play. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to lose? You guys are losing anyway. So I definitely feel like he should play, man. And I don't know. It's crazy out there, man. It's crazy.
Losing and the Browns go together like
hand in glove,
peanut butter, like peanut butter and jelly. Like it goes together. But let me just say this, Spade. I just was thinking while you was talking right there, and I said, man, is Johnny trying to force his way out of the Cleveland by doing this? Could that be what Johnny's doing? Could that be like the marketing ploy? Johnny, like, you know what? I'm about to just
I don't
bug
think
out.
so.
You don't think so?
No, man, because him and LeBron, they homies. Remember that relationship started back when he was at A&M. When he was at Texas A&M, him and LeBron was buddies. I think him and LeBron being buddies actually contributed to him being drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Let's not forget, man, LeBron kind of run things in Cleveland. You don't believe me? Somebody go find Braylon Edwards and ask him about it. So, I mean, and Johnny was the starter. He was starting when he was pitching with the bottle. So, I mean, he was getting his PT. I don't know, man. It's two stubborn guys. I believe that coach name is Mike Pettit, something like that.
Yeah, Mike Pettit.
He don't like Johnny, and Johnny don't like following rules, apparently. And it's a bad relationship, man.
Well, I definitely see Mike Pettit being fired after this year. And I don't like to say nobody job on the line, but I don't think he'll be back. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll land on his feet, but he won't be back. I don't think he won't, because the owner wants Manziel to play, and Mike Pettit said he want to try and win games. So I don't know what for. I think they like 3-11. They got some crazy record like that. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere.
It's
So
time
they
to
might well
activate
put Johnny in. Yeah, I agree. And they need to put Johnny in to see what they have, and whatever happens. If they don't feel Johnny is the future, they need to cut Johnny, trade Johnny, and just move on. All this, Every week you hear what's going on with Johnny. Johnny Manziel this, Johnny Manziel that. What about the Browns? I mean, it's some decent players on the Browns that play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Travis Benjamin. Let's talk about Travis Benjamin. He became a player this year.
Yep.
Duke Johnson, they look like they have a nice little feet, a nice little back in Duke Johnson. They got some pieces there.
Yep.
Barnes look like he's a stud at tight end. They got some pieces. Like, it's time for them to start building a team. And if you feel one player is a cancer, speaking of Johnny Manziel, then cut your losses. Trade him in the offseason, or just deactivate him. You could deactivate him like Washington did with RG3 and just sit him on the bench. And then in the offseason, make the move. Just make the move. But this back and forth, he's starting, he ain't starting, he playing, he ain't playing. It's annoying. And I know I'm not even a Browns fan. But if I'm a Browns fan, I'm like, good God, can we make a decision, please?
Speaking of Johnny Manziel, man, Johnny was it in college. So that's a great segue over into our next segment. I want to ask you, for your opinion, who's your favorite right now in the Heisman race? If you was to decide and vote, and I come to you and say, LaParis, I got this damn Heisman Trophy. I want to give it away, but I want you to put it in somebody's hands. Whose hands are you putting it in, bro?
Oh, it's easy. I'm giving it to Deshaun Watson, quarterback from Clemson. Just finished the night with 13-0. Finished the night capping off an undefeated season. Look like they're going to go in. The number one looks like, I don't know what the committee going to do, but it looks like they're going to go in the number one seed into the playoffs. So I'm definitely going to give it to, the ACC champs. I'm giving it to Deshaun Watson, quarterback for the Clemson Tigers. I know you got the same picks, babe.
Nah, I don't. And you was just talking about them going in 13-0, and they are 13-0. But I like how you just skipped right on by the fact that they may have pulled a stunt at the end of that game. The officials may have really pulled a stunt at the end of that game. I'm sorry, Tar Heels. I don't feel like you guys was outside. I just want to say that right here on the air. But I don't know, man. I'm weird when it comes to this award. First of all, let me say right here on the camera again, because I've said it before, I think Dalvin Cook is the most NFL-ready running back in college. However, if I was given,
my little homie,
he's it, yo. He's the real deal. But if I was giving the Heisman Trophy to somebody, and I know y'all gonna look at me crazy, I feel like you got to give it to Henry, man. You got to give it to Derrick Henry. He is a workhorse for this Alabama team. You saw Ezekiel Elliott felt some kind of way about Henry getting 40 carries. I saw, shout out to the homie MK. He tweeted today, Henry better go pro before Saban runs him in the ground. Like, Saban he realizes, we got a workhorse, let him work. And he's done so much for that team. I definitely feel like he's probably the favorite for me.
Spade, we don't got to spend too much time on this topic, but before we move on, the Heisman Trophy, man. Do you remember the lore that used to be the Heisman Trophy? You got the Heisman Trophy. You remember it was like you was automatically the best player in college football. You was the number one pick in the draft, and your arrow was pointing up.
Yep.
Now the Heisman Trophy is like, okay, college dude, take this trophy.
Yeah.
Hope you do well on the next level. Hope you.
Good luck with that.
You know what I mean? Look at a guy like Charles Woodson that won the Heisman Trophy. Charles Woodson still doing it big right now at 40 years old. I don't even know if he's 40. He might be 39. Charles, I'm sorry. But you still look amazing, Charles, right now at this age. And the Heisman Trophy used to have this lore about it, like, oh my God, if you got the Heisman, that dude gotta be a top pick in the draft. Now it's Heisman Trophy people that are not even getting drafted.
Right, man. You kind of like, congratulations on winning the Heisman. Can you step to the side so I can talk to that guy behind you? That's really how it's going out there. That's what I said, man. To me, Henry is the favorite, but to me, he's not the best running back. Like, that's not who I'm drafting first if I need a running back.
Well, Spade, this is a topic for another show, but you know how I feel about Alabama backs and Wisconsin running backs. You already know how I feel about them.
You're not a fan, bro. You're not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, so you already know. But that's a topic for another show, man. You ready to move on?
Yeah, man. What else?
Before we move on, let me know who you guys, because somebody might have this kid from Navy. They talking about this quarterback from Navy that could be invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremonies. So leave your Heisman Trophy winner in the comment section down below. You know what I mean? Let us know. Tweet us. You know what I mean? Strong Arm Sports. All links will be in the description. Let us know who wins the Heisman. Let us know. But let's move on. So, if you guys follow college football, we're going to stick there. If you guys follow college football, a lot of coaches got fired. A lot of coaches quit. A lot of coaches got hired. Let's talk about the Canes hiring Spade. I always get his name wrong. What's his name, Spade?
Good old Mark Richt.
Mark Richt, Spade. The Canes said, you know what? Georgia don't want him, but we do. And Richt was in the conference, and he threw up the U, Spade. And a lot of tweets came out and was like, now, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So, Spade, out of all the coaches that's been hired, I know it was a lot of moves. I think Bowling Green coach, he went to Syracuse. Rutgers got a new coach. A lot of people picked some guys from Alabama staff. They picked some guys from Ohio State staff.
Yep.
Rutgers got a new coach. RU, you know what I mean? We got a new coach. So, Spade, I gotta know how you feel about your Canes getting rigged, man. Let me know.
Everybody's been asking me. Everybody knows I'm a big Miami Hurricane guy, and I kind of wanted to say my opinion for the show. I'm gonna try not to be too long-winded. I got mixed feelings on this hire. First of all, Miami is notorious for being cheap when it comes to head coaches. We ain't making no head coach rich. Lucky for us, Mark Richt still is owed some money from UGA, so they still breaking him off, so money's not his biggest motivation. That's one. Two, the man just got fired. You'd be surprised how thankful a man that just got fired is for a job. He'd be happy as hell for it. He does have a connection to the school. The biggest thing that I like is he is a big name. And you thinking, that name don't mean anything once the game starts. Nope, it don't. But that name means something in the offseason. I think he's a hell of a recruiter. I think when Mark Richt rolls up in your house in Dade County, when he roll up at one of these kids' houses, he leaves with them signing the letter of intent. I think he's going to be a great recruiter. My concerns, I got two areas of concerns, y'all. One, I'm not so sure the guy's a winner. Like, what has he won? He has one of the top recruiting classes in the year every year at UGA. And they ain't won. No nice way to put it, y'all. They really haven't. Now look at all the different SEC teams that's won a championship since he's been there. Hell, Nick Saban has won one with a team, left, went pro, came back with another college team, and won it with them too before Mark Richt has won one. That right there is an area of concern for me. Now, if he still can get the recruits, I don't think it's that bad, because as much as it pains me to say it, the ACC is not as tough of a conference. So if he can build a UGA level team at Miami, that's good enough to win the ACC. That's that. And secondly, I'm afraid that he may be a little too nice for our program. He's a nice guy. He's a great guy. Everybody knows he's a God-fearing man. He's a Christian guy. I want a coach that want to kill the other team. Not literally, but I want to run the score up. I want a coach with some dirt under his fingernails. I'm worried that Mark Richt going to be praying for our opponents out there. You know, saying a prayer for them. I want to destroy them. I want to humiliate them. I want to run the score up on them. But honestly, in closing, I want to say this, man. I'm excited for Miami because I don't feel like he can be any worse than the last two head coaches Miami has had. And I hate to say that about Randy Shannon. I like you, Randy, but let's face it. You was more concerned with getting our graduation rate up. That's something that, to me, a football coach should never be concerned with. If dudes is graduating, that means they ain't NFL talent. So I don't even care about the graduation rate. But yeah, man, hopefully this works out good for both involved parties, especially Miami. Mark Richt gonna be all right. He's got money. I hope the Canes get better. I'm tired of hearing you talk about Florida State. Come on, Canes. Let's get back on top where we belong, y'all.
Let me just say, I'm gonna tell you how Richt could be successful in Miami. First of all, you're right about him recruiting. If he can get that same type, of talent he used to get to Georgia, if he can get that same type of talent down there in Miami, all he got to do is win Miami. If he win Miami, if he Miami talent in Miami,
well, you're right.
If he keeps that, if he keeps that down there, he wins. But I'm gonna tell you how he can be successful with the Canes. This is why some head coaches are smart and other head coaches are not. Rick got to understand, I'm a great recruiter. That's what I do. I recruit. Let me hire people that can coach these guys up, call plays, call the defense, do what I'm he's not good at it because when it comes to making them decisions, he does not make great decisions, and he has proven that at UGA. He makes terrible decisions, terrible play calls. The head coach can trump any call of any offensive coordinator, any defensive coordinator.
Right.
But the head coach should know what I'm good at and what each assistant coach is great at, and put them in their right position. So if he can do that, I think he'll be successful down there. But if he go down there doing the same things, the same scheme, the same things that he did in UGA, it's going to be them 8-4 seasons, them 9-3 seasons, them 10-2 seasons. And if I'm not mistaken, he took Georgia to a couple of SEC championships and they lost. They lost. They never won a big game in Georgia. So if I'm not mistaken, that was Richt. It was him because he had talent. Them players got drafted. Them players still playing the league today. And I mean, it was a talented group, man. So I think he got to realize that I'm a great recruiter. I need to put other people in positions where they're great at and let them handle that. So if he do that and win Miami, like keep them kids that's in Florida, in Miami, he'll be all right.
It's time for our pick'em game for the week, man. LaParis was crying about last week's pick'em game being an NBA game, so we're going back to the NFL for our pick'em game. We got a tough one this week, man. We got the Seattle Seahawks, Minnesota Vikings. Both of these teams are kind of on the bubble for the playoff right now, and I'm going to throw you on the spot. Who you got?
I might shock people. The Seahawks ain't what the Seahawks, that defense ain't what it was, man. And I don't know what happened. I know they defensive coordinator left. Sherman don't look like Sherman. Chancellor don't look. I mean, they not as in, people aren't scared of them no more. I remember they used to be this Legion of Boom, this intimidating unit. And people ain't scared of them no more. So give me the Minnesota Vikings at home, man. I like Minnesota Vikings. I think AP can run on them. I could be wrong. But I'm picking the Minnesota Vikings. I think they can establish the run. And if Teddy Bridgewater just do what Teddy been doing, he ain't been tearing the league up, but he hasn't been making mistakes. If he keep that up, I think Minnesota Vikings can pull this game out.
Yeah, I'm with you as well, man. Last week, I don't want to get too long-winded, but last week, I made a decision in our fantasy league that LaParis and myself is in. I didn't play D'Angelo Williams because they played against the mighty Seahawks. And I said, that's a great defense. I don't want to play them. And he gashed the Seahawks. I had all kind of points on the bench, and it was D'Angelo. So if D'Angelo gashed him like that, I want to believe that AP going to gash him too. So give me Minnesota in a very tight game. And it goes back to what you said. Teddy Bridgewater has to manage the game. You ain't got to beat him, Teddy. Just don't lose it, man. Give me Minnesota in a tight.
I like that as well. So we want you guys to leave who you have winning that game in the comment section down below. Spade, let's get to the strong arm performer of the week. Let's close the show out strong. Right. And I want to start. Okay. Because it kind of piggybacks off what we just talked about. Did you see how many points the Pittsburgh Steelers put up on the Seahawks?
Who'd have thunk it?
I was like, what Big Ben and AB and these guys was, it wasn't even AB. It was Marcus Wheaton ate him up.
Right.
Marcus Wheaton. Like, it wasn't Martavius Bryant. It wasn't really Antonio Brown. It was Marcus Wheaton had like 11 catches for like 200 and some yards, but they lost. And that piggybacks off. That's why it piggybacks, because I'm giving my strong arm performer to Russell Wilson. He went 31-30, 345 yards and 5 TDs against the Pittsburgh Steelers to pull out a win. It was definitely a shootout, and I was like, where is Seattle defense? And this game right here was kind of the reason that I picked Minnesota this week. Spade. For that reason right there, Russell Wilson is my strong arm performer of the week.
That's pretty good. He definitely needed that game, man, because the Seahawks fans are trying to start a GoFundMe to raise the money to get him to break up with Sierra. They was blaming her. But for me, man, my strong arm...
they did lose Jimmy Graham that game, too.
Oh, that's true.
Jimmy Graham went out, man.
That's true. It didn't look good either.
Gotta mention that.
Yeah, he got carded.
Gotta mention that.
For me, man, I want to go to the association for mine. If y'all don't mind, I want to give my strong arm
performer. Better not be James Harden.
I wish I could give James Harden. I want to give my strong arm performer of the week to a guy down in Miami, man. You know, you might know him as Flash. You might know him as Dwayne Wade, or you might simply know him as 3. This guy put on a great performance against a tough team and came through in the clutch to deliver the win for the Miami Heat. 28 points, 4 boards, 4 dimes. He even got a pat on the back from his son after the game. His son, he kind of hated it a little bit. They interviewed his son and said, "How you think your dad did tonight?" And he said, he did all right. And D-Wade said, "That ain't what you said before the camera came on," and then he had to fix it. He said he was clutch, and definitely it was a clutch performance for D-Wade. D-Wade is one of those guys that every once in a while, he looked like he just took a swim in the fountain of youth. He was it that night. So for that performance, D-Wade, you are my strong arm performer of the week.
Spade, another great show, champ. You know what I want? You know, a lot of guys watch this. They leave a lot of comments, but they don't never leave a strong arm performer down there, man. Leave your strong arm performer in the comment section down below. As usual, definitely, if you new here, bang the subscribe button and take 2 seconds. You're a regular here, hit the like button. We appreciate the love. We definitely appreciate all the comments you guys leave us. Man, we read them all. We respond to the good ones. You know, some of you guys be like, "Oh my God, you guys didn't talk about Flojo, blah, blah, blah." You know, you guys be wilding in the comment section down below. But we appreciate all the comments nonetheless. As usual, we got, you guys don't want to see our mugshot, we got audio podcasts everywhere. We on iTunes, SoundCloud, we on PodOmatic. You guys can find this everywhere. If you guys, you know, just driving to work, hit us up, listen to us, man. You know what I mean? It's a good podcast, you guys. We appreciate your consistent support, man. You guys are amazing, man. We want to thank you guys for watching. Man. We appreciate you guys, man. We'll see you guys next episode, man.
Peace.